Hello, my name is Eyes, and hope you're having a good one. And this is going to be me doing my Lucid liberation and talking about the class while I do it. Talking about my likes and dislikes. If you have watched my content, I am a Lara main, and this character was my main prior to Lara, so we're just basically finishing where we started. Just gonna boss and then talk my thoughts about it the more I go through it. I just need to remind myself that I need to swap into the challenger potions. But a really big thing about this class that I like is the potential of how much you're able to do in certain scenarios. So I will take my time getting these challenger elixirs. Like, I really like the capabilities that you have on this. I almost just died there saying that. But there's also like a lot of optimization you can do. So like the optimal thing I could have done there, or that I was attempting to do, is making sure that my roar is... I popped this a little early. I didn't think he'd blow up instantly. But it's really nice that this character has a lot of ways to express yourself in the terms of, you know, DPSing, movement. The way you play this class is very high effort, and like an example of me being bad is that I don't use the TP. Like, there's so many mechanics to this character that like Lara can't really express as much as Kinesis can. But there's also the unfortunate side, which you'll see later, is that this boss sucks when it comes to specifically movement bosses. Think like Damien, Lucid P1, P2 is probably the biggest comparison between bosses, I would say. I'm just trying to see if I can get a weapon jump swap in. Any day now. I don't know if that day's coming. Okay. I just like the, not uniqueness, but the way that you can express yourself in this character. Nothing else too much more to add until I get out of here. To talk about the character, if you've probably noticed that already, this character has a Roar 4 and a Weapon Jump 3. Like I said earlier, this is my X main, so this thing does have certain, not benefits, but they have certain things that are hard to access. I'm stuttering. Some of these items that I have on me are just very hard to access, especially later on in New Age when it gets way more difficult to do so. One of the biggest one being the Roar Rings and the Weapon Jump. I do have a Risk Taker too, but I only use that for Will. Oi! So right here my plan is to probably... I am G-skillless. We don't talk about it, guys. We don't talk about it, okay? We don't talk about it, guys. You know, we scuff it a little bit for content, you know what I mean? Make ourselves entertaining. But golly, that is a pretty rough thing to do. So on the top right, I'm purposely looking for my roar to come up after the Psychic Tornado booms up. So because the explosion of the Psychic Tornado, I'm not explaining it that well, but the explosion portion does a lot of damage. So I try to get my roar to include that type of burst, because I believe it's a very nice increase in damage, at least in my opinion. I need to cleanse here though, regardless. I could die here, but I am on the thing. So to talk more about Kinesis recently, so when I originally played it, I had a lot of, not issues, but there was a lot of dislikes I had with this class going into it. So a big one was that this character needed so much debuffing that I was just not a fan of. But later on in the future it became a lot easier to figure out. And they removed, I think, 2 debuffs. They removed Mind Break and then something else, I believe, which made this boss, not this boss, but Kinesis as a class a lot easier in bosses like this, instead of needing to like worrying about debuffing this guy to Narnia. Also, the second blink you have in your jaunt ability on my 1 key here, very nice. Big fan of it. Oh, not a big fan of that though. Oh my god. Heal. Do I have FAMs on? I do. Just gonna try to get out of here. However long that might be. Would rather not worry about this. Oh my god, I was getting way too close to that. Not too sure what else to talk about. I would like to talk about getting out here before I get absolutely blasted by Tohos. Oh, I really wanted to get out with that. Go, 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 get out! Oh my god. Oh my god. So my goal here is to find, I want to go to a top platform. That'd be preferred. This platform also works. I should have popped these earlier, by the way. Because what like, I am about to show you why this character kind of sucks sometimes. Because he can do that. That's the exact thing he can do. This is the biggest flaw about Kinesis. The fact that when you attempt to bind and burst, it creates timings where they're unbound. They can just instantly get out and ignore most of your burst. So what I should have done there prior is prep my burst earlier, at least my Psychic Tornado, so I could chase it a little bit, then bind it while I can guarantee the Psychic Tornado gets off. I just need to pay attention to my elixirs. Touch, I believe. Yeah, so for this boss, I would usually opt to just go for 100-second binds. Because there's like very little difference, but in exchange, if I'm decent, I can land better 90-second bursts. It just, in exchange, it takes a little bit more time to set up. This could be bad. I just got hit by it again. I don't want to talk about that. It's pretty gross. Oh my god, I bound it and I still got it off. Not great. You can tell I'm not a Kinesis man. I don't even know the song. 2043 on that. Going back to the whole, this is why I dislike Kinesis thing. Although it does have this very big issue, I really do feel like that the potential that this character can do is very, very high, and it's also very, very rewarding. Because, like, come on, man, I'm throwing trains and stuff like that. Can't be too mad about that. I will say that my damage does feel a little bit low. At least compared to what I want. Touch again. Should not be spamming pots at the rate that I am. So I'll attempt to do a burst that I think is decent. Keyword attempt. So I'm gonna hold my bind just in case he decides to do something crazy, cuckoo stupid. Like that. Okay, that kind of blows. I shouldn't have even bound, to be honest. I think I'm just gonna throw it with roar. But clownery! I would not be surprised if he... Oh. Not bad. Get my damage in. Yup. Where are you going? I don't know if you saw that, but the jaunt ability I also think is such a nice part of Kinesis' kit. I really like it. The ability to move around, not free willingly, but the ability to cancel your movement and cancel knockback if you're unstunned is so nice. I feel like that's something that's like so invaluable. I also did not know that Metal Press doesn't go ahead of platforms there. Should fizzle out there. Bombs again. He's running. What is he scared of, man? My entire DPS is based on them not moving. So like here, if I'm smart, I would attempt to swap into... Okay, I'm kind of getting clipped by everything though, so... I'm gonna say he's down here, right? Free damage. Free damage. Here I just want to attempt the swap. Other small things about it. I believe if you want a boss meal, this is not your guy. I believe its nodes are a little too much for a boss meal. And it takes a lot to really get it going. I could die here, so I'm just going to E4 just in case. I feel like there are better options. But I really do like Kinesis in terms of a second main when this dude really starts getting going. Or maybe you just have a lot of nodes that you can throw in a character. Then I believe this character can really shine in those moments. I should have not done that. I thought I'd E-form. Whoopsie. I have 15 seconds on my bind, so I think my goal here is that I'm gonna burst when I can. And then after I complete my burst, I am not in the right fam, so that would help me a little bit. What else do I not have going for me here? Oh my god, it's a dragon. Kinesis. That's Kinesis stuff right there. I have a small percent of Kinesis in me from that. I'm waiting for a specific, not a move, but something that can give me confirmation that he's either going to move quickly or he's not going to move. Like that should have worked, but I was a little too... I'm pretty sure as long as he doesn't... I can react if he does anything. Like, this is definitely a much better burst than last time. But it can still get cancelled short. I think it might be worth it to throw that early. Okay, yeah. So since that burst was pretty good, I can actually wait until the next 90 second. And then I'll show you how I'm going to do Lucid P3. Which is a little bit difficult. Not really, because I don't know if you've been noticing, but I have not been pressing my Goddess blessings. Not because I don't want to, but because I'm literally forgetting every single burst. But I won't be forgetting for the for the P3 burst, because I literally cannot forget that. I also forgot my fams that I had, so that is not a helper in this this issue I have here. See that back to back. Going into P3, my goal is to make sure that I have the middle platform up. Although you might be able to DPS with different platforms, I really prefer DPSing with the middle platform because I feel like everything can hit. And I don't need to worry too much about specific things hitting or not hitting. Also, if I was opting for more damage, again, I would be doing more 100-second binds, hitting with my 90-second burst. But because I have so much ample time, I'm not too worried about the damage I'm doing, and more worried about the prep going into P3, because I really like my prep going into that phase. And the pellets doing a little bit more could not screw me over, but it doesn't make it much easier to deal with, if that makes sense. Having low pots is definitely not something that I like to have in my mind when doing this. But I think 15 is plenty to get through it. Alright, so here I'm just going to be DPSing, looking for middle plat, and going at a time where I have my burst, and middle plat will not screw me over. So it can actually be like pretty soon even from now. That's mid plat broken, so 12:48, so I have until 10:48. So I could push for it. I think I'll just keep chipping it. Because I can. Okay, so that's not great, but I can make it work. The reason why it's not too great is because I'd rather get it a little later. Because, you know, we do more stuff like this. I also don't want to use any abilities going into it. I don't think Dragon kills me, but I guess we're going to find out, huh? So I'm looking at the top right to see when Psychic Tornado's up. So after the end of this Psychic Tornado, I'm going to get a Roar-powered explosion. So it gives me extra damage for the end portion, which I did not need in this portion because I basically overbursted in that section. But I do believe that if you got the burst of that, even without a Roar Ring, it would help a lot trying to get down to that last phase. And you will probably be fine. Even if you don't have a Roar 4 like myself, which call it a Roar 4 clutch, but I believe that this class has a lot of strength in it, especially when it comes to mobs that don't move as often. Maybe it is a gear thing, but as somebody who's done 28-minute glooms-ish, I really do like this character when it comes to just like the outplays that it can do, the iframes that it has, the random quality of life, like a 2-minute Goddess and a 3-minute Will of Erda. Small stuff like that just makes the class a little bit more fun. Now, what would be fun is if I got like An armor box, a dreamy belt. Don't need a twilight mark as much. Am I about to crash? Huh. What? Has anyone seen this? Huh. Can't. Wow. I didn't know that. Wow. That counts? I didn't know that Legion Luck couldn't be used in a Liberation boss or Lucid. Wow, that is crazy. I never knew that. Overall, I really just wanted to do this boss and talk a little bit about my class in the middle of the boss. So I can talk about some certain gripes that occur with the class that I may not like and certain things that I really do like. But anywho, hope you have a good one. That's all I got. I'll just skim through my gear really quickly. And I will see you next month for the V Hilla Liberation.